Even in hardcore, survival stopped being a challenge for me a long time ago. Every day that passes, I feel more comfortable and more confident in my ability to stay alive. But what's the point of living forever just to spend it alone? And that's when it hit me. Mojang hasn't updated the Minecraft village in 7 years, and I'm not a patient person, so I decided to do it myself, completely overhauling the basic Minecraft village into a Roman-inspired empire. Two of the first things we're going to be doing today are building a massive pumpkin farm and a villager breeder. And this is because I'm actually not building this village in this area, which brings me to my first problem. We have a ton of villagers here, and I mean like a lot. I don't know how many exactly, but we have a ton of villagers and I don't need them anymore. I need to figure out a way to take them out in the most humane way possible. After rummaging through my shulker box, I think I found that. I don't like the idea of doing this, but if I'm going to be honest with you, there's way too many of them. I'm really sorry about this, guys. I am very sorry about this. Dude, I know, I'm sorry you disapprove of this. I really am. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Oh, no. First problem solved. All the villagers are taken care of. I need to start planning this out. I was rummaging through my storage and we found the shulker shell that has most of the items we need for the pumpkin farm, actually. I think all I'm missing are some pistons and some pumpkin seeds, which I'm gonna go ahead and collect right now. We need to make a quick trip over to the iron farm and snag a stack of iron blocks. Now that we have the iron, I need pumpkins, so I'm gonna go try to find some. And now we can craft up the pistons finally. I think one stack should be good enough. And we should be ready to head out now. We have the portal set up now, and this is the area we're going to be building, and I think it looks incredible. It's going to look even better by the end of the episode. But to start off, I really want to get this pumpkin farm built. And the reason I want to do this is because I want the pumpkin farm to run in the background while we do everything else, so that we're going to be like rich on pumpkins. I also want to go ahead and set up the villager breeder at some point too, early on, so that we can also AFK that, because this build or these builds are going to require a ton of villagers. I need to clear out an area underneath of the little mountain here so that I can add the pumpkin farm. So we're going to go ahead and mine out a large area underneath. Also, I know I've said this again. I'm probably going to reiterate it a few more times. It's absolutely astonishing to me that we can see the Guardian farm and the Raid farm from all the way over here. So whoever recommended Voxy, thank you so much. This is one of the coolest mods ever. Anyway, let's get back into it. There we have it, our official pumpkin farm, and I don't know how efficient it's going to be, but hopefully it provides us with enough pumpkins for infinite emeralds. I think it should, to be completely honest with you. Now that that's done, the next step is going to be the villager breeder. However, I need to terraform a lot before I can even build this thing, because I kind of redid a lot of this terrain here, and the villager breeder is going to go somewhere over here, but it's at a different elevation. And yeah, I just kind of want to knock out all the terraforming now so I don't have to worry about it later. And then we're going to be building a ton of trees, so we're going to have plenty of time to AFK this thing. That being said, I need to go grab some blocks. I had to swing by the Citadel of Tides just to grab a couple blocks. So I have an inventory full of shulkers that contains some of the blocks we're going to need for today's build. But I also just need the shulkers so I can transport items between base and the new area, which I'm not going to disclose the name of yet. Anyway, last episode we built this farm, and it's a Guardian farm, and it's called the Citadel of Tides. And I think it just looks incredibly clean. I absolutely love it. But somebody suggested we name the Guardian statue the Guardian of Tides, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that user, but thank you so much for the name suggestion. I think it's really cool. Anyway, I think it's time that we head back home to grab the rest of the blocks we need for this villager breeder. I've made it back to Harvest Haven, and I was organizing a bunch of the shulkers that we just got. Well, I say organizing, I was just randomly throwing the items in these chests. I need to fix that soon, very soon. However, right now it's time for us to go collect some blocks, and I'm thinking we're going to need a couple of these shulkers. Thank goodness we've emptied them, because the build's not too big, but it does require quite a few items. So let's go ahead and collect those. Yeah, I'm sorry about this, guys. This is kind of awkward. I'm currently destroying your habitat. I need the sand, though, but I promise I will come back for you and build a farm out of you guys, okay? Yeah, take it easy. I gotta turn all of this into smooth sandstone, so while we wait, I'm gonna go find something to do. I've been waiting for the sandstone to smelt, and I decided that I was gonna do the interior for this building because we need a glow lichen farm, which we have now. Apparently this one's supposed to be pretty quick. And then upstairs I added a little bit like a bed and stuff. Nothing too fancy. But I really like this interior. I don't love the zombie below me. We're gonna have to light that area up more, I think. But essentially how this works is you click this, and then we go in here, and then we just mine away. So, and you can make this faster if you have efficiency, which I do not, because glow lichen can actually be insta-mined. But I don't have any efficiency villagers. Hopefully by the end of today's episode we will. But this should give us a good amount of glow lichen, which we're going to need today for some of the builds that we have. Yeah, this is going to be plenty of glow lichen. Okay, yeah, this is a good farm. I'll link this in the description if you guys need it for anything. It's a pretty random farm, I'm not going to lie. We finally have everything to go and ready to build this villager breeder, and it's going to go somewhere around this area. Like I said, we still have to terraform all this stuff. We're going to do that after. I just want to get the villager breeder up and running so that we can have a ton of villagers by the time we're done building. So obviously we still have some work to do, but overall I love the way that this house came out. I'm kind of going for like a, I don't know, maybe Roman / Mediterranean style for these builds. You'll see as we go through them. But this is the villager breeder. I absolutely love the way that it came out. Honestly, I couldn't be more happy with it. And I wanted to show you guys how I've been doing windows. So you'll see here, if you look at the windows, there's the chains, and then behind the chains, I place banners, and it gives off this really cool window effect. I really like it. It's kind of like window shades, I guess, but I just really like the way that it looks. So there's like some new window tech. I haven't really seen anybody do the chains with the banners. I've seen the banners a lot, but I haven't seen chains. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. Either way, I think it looks sick. The breeder itself is just a pretty simple one. So I still have to plant the carrots, which we're about to do. And then we got to get the villagers in here, which I probably will have to destroy this wall for. Yeah, just a super simple villager breeder, 3 beds. And then down here is going to be like the chamber where they get collected. So we just have to finish setting that part up, which I'll do here in a minute. And then we have to go get the villagers. So that's going to be the fun part. Funny enough, what we did in the first part of the episode, we technically didn't have to do. I mean, we still had to get rid of them, but I actually don't need the other 2 villagers that are there because there's a village right here. So we're just going to abduct the local residents and bring them over to the villager breeder. And you look like a good suspect. Go ahead and hop in there for me. Yep, it is your time. Go find your friend. All right, we got our second one. Also, I did just get a new microphone, so if it sounds a little bit different, that's why. Hopefully it's not too bad though. Anyway, I saw in the last episode where we used villagers for the raid farm, we actually could build up and then glide down, and they should be able to follow us. So let's go ahead and build up, and then if we just glide, they should come with us. Yes, it looks like it's working. So we just need to try to get them all the way over here. I'm sitting here setting up my villager breeder, and I'm watching Avengers Endgame because Doomsday trailer just came out a few days ago, and Captain America just said Avengers Assemble, and I swear I get chills every time. Let me know if you guys like Marvel down in the comments below. I am a huge fan. I know it's kind of fallen off the past couple of years, but I gotta say, I still really enjoy watching the movies. Anyway, we got the villagers in the breeder, and I just need to set them up. I don't want to let them out of the boats yet because I need quite a few more carrots, and I also need to set up the collection chamber down here. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but they should start breeding any time now. Maybe they need a little more food? I'm not sure. Threw about 4 stacks down, so... Oh, sorry, you don't want me to watch? It should be working. It should work. There's a baby. It works. Where'd he go? Where's the baby? Did he fall already? I don't know where bro went, but it's working 100%. So this is great news. Now we can let this AFK for a while. Now that we have the villager breeder set up, I think it's time for us to start slowly working our way through the materials list. I'm going to grab all of the shulker boxes that I can, and then we're going to head out. This is already proving to be one of my largest projects ever, and if you can't tell, we ended up demolishing not one, but 2 different birch biomes entirely, and an entire spruce one, because we needed about 50,000 leaves, give or take, for all the custom trees. We ended up collecting all the other materials we needed anyway, so we eventually got it done, but this was a grueling process for us. I was gathering materials and I realized something. I used a lot of gray wool within the terraforming, and I don't have a wool farm at all. And I need like 600 blocks of gray wool. So I'm going to have to set up a automatic sheep farm really quick to be able to automatically farm this wool while we work on everything else. And I'm probably going to grab a couple more if I can find them, but I need to go back to the base and grab some wheat. So we need to stow these guys away somewhere. There we go. We have 6 sheep in here now. I'm going to go ahead and leave this, and we're going to continue and just kind of let this AFK. I'm also waiting for some sheep to grow up so we can fill the last 4 slots. But other than that, wolf farm is completed, and we can move on to collecting more of the resources. Nearly 50 days later, we have 150,000 blocks to our name in this disgusting looking chest monster. It did take me a very long time to collect everything. It's going to be worth it 100% because these villagers are going to set us up for a very long time in the world. Speaking of villagers, I want to quickly take a look at how many we have. I'm going to have to go into free cam, and we have quite a few. We have quite a few villagers. I haven't really been in the area too much because I've been out collecting things and healing tools and whatnot. But we have quite a few villagers. That's a pretty good start. I also do want to see where the pumpkins are at. Not bad, not bad. That's a good amount of emeralds, honestly. All in all, things are looking up for us. We just need to break ground on the build. Also, I found my to-do list, which I lost like halfway through recording this, and we need to update it so we can go ahead and take off villager breeder. We also have the materials. So now we just need to terraform. So we are making progress on the to-do list, which is awesome. I kind of want to incorporate that more throughout my videos just to give us some sort of structure and something to look back on later. But with that being said, it's time for us to break some ground on this terraforming project. Wish me luck. Now, looking at this area, it doesn't look like much, right? You see just the chest monster, which we're going to clean up later. But when you get closer, you see that the pathway's done. We have the forest floor done, which kind of looks a little wonky right now because we don't actually have a forest. But that's going to come here shortly. And then we have our rock faces and the whole area terraformed. Going into free cam, I'll kind of show you guys to get a better view. This is what the area looks like. Obviously, it's going to look better because we're missing the structures, which we're about to build right now. But I think the area, for what it is, looks incredible. I spent a lot of time putting this together using Axiom in creative mode. Let me know if you guys want to see my process. I also work on stream to put these together. So if you're ever interested in seeing my creative process for building projects, I highly recommend you swing by one of the streams. But we have most of it done, and now I'm debating. I'm sitting here, I'm like, what do I want to do next? Do I want to build the trees or do I want to build the structures? And I really want to see what this looks like without the trees. So I think we're going to move on to the structures. And with the sheer amount of villagers that we have, I think it might be worth it to finally actually put the trading halls together because they're going to start entity cramming, and I don't want that. I have the almost finished structure for our trading hall here, missing a few things like some trees and then details within the windows. I wanted to show you guys some new lantern designs that I came up with while I was building this. So as I was looking at the reference photos, I discovered these things called, I think they're called sconces. Correct me if I'm wrong. We have our lantern here, but we can't just attach it to the building. Using fences like this, it looks, in my opinion, weird. Right? I don't like this. I don't think it's the look that I'm going for. So I couldn't use fences. And I was brainstorming, right? And you can actually attach lanterns to the bottom of almost any block. And one of those blocks that you can attach lanterns to is candles. So if we use candles here and then attach the lantern and then we move further away, you can see that it kind of gives off the effect of like a sconce, you know, it's like connected to the house or to the structure. And I think I actually started testing this with only one. Originally I did 4 candles and then I switched it to just 1. I think this has a better look for it. So yeah, there we go. Perfect. It looks like it's a little attachment that connects to the building. Obviously up close, you don't really get the same effect because it's just kind of floating there. But at a quick glance, it looks like it's connected. And I ended up doing this throughout the whole build, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's fully completed. And the end result should look something like this. And I don't know, maybe it's just my bias as like a creative, but I really like the way they look. I don't know, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I like them a lot. Also, when looking on the inside of the build, the interior is fully completed as well. It's going to be very simple. I might add some tables and things like that in the center, maybe a carpet as well. This is where the villagers are going to go. Their trades will be up here. And we also have an upstairs, but no bubble column yet. I still need to grab the water and the kelp for that. But this build is done, and I really like the way that these builds are coming together. I think it really gives the style I was going for with like maybe a Mediterranean or Roman inspired just little town. But with that being said, this one's completed. Now we have to move on to the next trading hall over here. And luckily we have most of the materials already because it's the same block palette. So I just need to go throw them together in shulkers. Wandering over to my chest monster, I decided to grab all the materials for the 2 remaining builds. And the second trading hall that I'm going for, I'm not really sure what this is going to be. It kind of looks like maybe a blacksmith building or maybe an armory or something like that. I still haven't decided what villagers I want to put in here yet. However, trading hall number 3 is going to be for our farmer villagers, and I'm even considering putting masons in here later on as well. This is by far one of my favorite builds I think I've ever done. It's very unique, and the block palette is something I don't usually use very often, so it made me really happy to see the end result. This thing looks insane. Oh my gosh. I love this build so much. It's very simple if you look at the fine details, but it looks magnificent. Going inside, we have a bunch of space for villagers, and we can even add more up on the second level, which I think I'll do eventually. Right now, I'm just concerned about filling up this first level. I put a lot of time into this build to try to figure out how I wanted it to look, what colors I wanted to use, and I absolutely love it. I also added the little hero of the village insignia on the top, just a little subtle addition to show that this Parthenon is for the villagers. Now, when looking at the terrain, stuff is still missing. Like, I want to add a little pond here, which I think I'm about to do. And then maybe I'm going to put like a cart here and a tent right up here. And then leading up this area, this is actually where we're going to cure the villagers. And I still need to do this, but this is like an old ancient ruin that I'm going to put here. And then underneath of it, it'll house the villager conversion area, which will be sent up to the different trading halls. Overall, though, I'm absolutely loving the way that this area is coming along. If you look at the day counter on the top left, it's definitely taking a lot of time, but it's very, very worth it. I added a little something. Let me know if you guys can see it. Okay, I added a few things actually. One of them being a little pond here when you're walking in with the cattails and the small drip leaves. And I really like this area. We even added a little dock too. It doesn't really have a purpose. I'm probably going to connect it to this little hill here to make it look like it's like a little river running into a pond, or a little stream running into a pond, I guess. Moving on to this. This is a cart that I added. This is actually from my first ever hardcore world, and I'll probably throw a picture on the screen now. But this, I loved the way that this came out. I know it's probably not the best, but I really thought it belonged here since a lot of this area is heavily inspired by my first hardcore world. Over here, I added like a little market stall, nothing too fancy. But then this build, the Ruin, is what I'm calling it because I don't know what structure it would be classified as. I added this and I love it because I went from a mossy cobblestone to a gray moss to a dripstone gradient, and I used the glow lichen for the first time in a gradient here, and then I applied it to my other builds. But this was the first build I've ever used a glow lichen gradient on, and I really just like the shading of this for some reason. It just scratches my brain. And then down here, right in the middle, is where we're going to be adding our villager conversion station, which I'm going to get to later. But we have all the structures laid out and ready to go. I think we're just missing one crucial detail for this whole area. And you may be asking yourself, well, what crucial detail is that? And I mentioned it earlier in the episode, but we're building a forest. I'm going to take a second to reiterate, this is my first time building a forest, and it's not the best forest in the world, but it's my forest. It's honest work. I'm extremely happy with the way that it came out. It just took me eons to complete because of how many materials we needed. So I'm able to take a lot of what I learned from this forest and apply it to the next one that we plan on building. With that being said, when I finally finished all of these trees, it really pulled the area together. And just like that, we have our forest. Oh my, does this thing look gorgeous. It's my first time building a forest. And I really wasn't sure how to do it, so I hopped into Axiom with the stamp tool and just threw a bunch of custom trees around. I think it came out incredible for my first forest. Obviously, there's things that we can improve. One of those things, I'm actually trying to figure out what I want to do in the forest floor. You can see that I started bone mealing a lot, actually. I was bone mealing on stream. We've been streaming this entire process. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to turn on notifications so you can see when I go live, or hop in my Discord, link in the description for that. However, back to what we were talking about. I'm trying to figure out the forest floor. I think we're just going to do bone meal for now, and then I'm going to plant patches of mushrooms and flowers throughout it. I think that's something we're going to do over time, though. My main focus is going to be moving on to detailing this area, which you can see, like I said, we've started bone mealing it a little bit. And one of the tricky things about using bone meal is flowers pop up, and I have to manually remove them. So you see, we bone meal it, we have to remove the too high grass and the flowers. So it is taking a good amount of time, but the end result is going to be so worth it. It was either that or placing the grass one at a time, which would have required like 30,000 grass or something. Anybody got time for that? I cannot do that. That's going to be way too much. I've already placed 50,000 leaves. Over here, I also added this little vineyard because I wanted the librarian trading hall to kind of look like a vineyard, like a wine house. I don't know what they're called. I also have to go through and wax these copper blocks still, so just ignore the bright blue. It's gonna change. But I added this vineyard, and I got this idea for these grapes from Corrales, actually. If you guys watch Hermitcraft at all, that's where I got the inspiration for those. So I just kind of scattered those around with some pots and barrels. Nothing too crazy. I am gonna add some lanterns here in a little bit just to, you know, light it up a tiny bit. I'm debating whether or not I want to add light posts. I'm not sure yet. But we have all the structures, all the trees. We're working on the details. I think I'm going to finish this up and show you guys the end result here in a minute. I'm walking through this whole area now, and I gotta say, with all the foliage, it looks absolutely stunning. I love it. I think we're going to break it up a little bit with some ferns and flowers and stuff, but I think I've planted enough foliage for today. I also took some time to wax the copper, which it looks like I missed a piece. I'm not perfect, but I did my best. So I guess we're just going to wait a little bit and then go through this again and make sure I got all the copper. One of the most important things in this video, I don't know why I waited this long, but we need to fill these villager halls, okay? We need to fill all these trading halls. And to do that, I want to get some of the best trades in the game. Not only do I want to get the best trades in the game, I want to be able to get them for the cheapest price possible. Okay, and in order to do that, we have to build what's called a villager conversion station. And that's going to go right under here. And I kind of want to go for like a catacomb slash dungeon because the villagers are going to be sacrificed for cheaper trades. We're going to rescue them, so don't worry. but it is going to cause them to lose their life temporarily. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead to design this, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Let me know your thoughts on this. I actually really like it. I tried to go more like with an abstract ruin. Maybe it was a statue at one point in time that just degraded over time. I like it. And you can see I added a little bit of lore. So lightning strikes this and it powers the system hiding underneath. I'm pretty excited for this. And I want to show you guys the dungeon or the catacomb area. This is what I've designed so far. I like how it's like a little cave, you know, like I said, degraded by time. You have moss coming in from water damage maybe. And then we have our very not modernized villager conversion station. I still need to figure out where I'm going to put the zombie. I'm thinking we're going to place the zombie somewhere here and then reroute the rails. I'm not too sure yet. But I really do like the way that this came out. Also, I'm going to be adding a special elevator here based off of the new update, the new Sulfur Cube update. And I'm going to show you guys how to do it. But basically, it's going to be a water geyser, like an automatic geyser. When you step on these pressure plates, it pushes lava underneath the potent sulfur and it shoots you up 20 blocks all the way to the top. I'm recording this after the fact because I realized I never recorded myself showing you how the redstone looks and how the actual elevator works. But basically, you step on this pressure plate and then you go all the way up and then there you are. It's really cool. I love this feature. So down here, we have the little redstone setup. And over here, you see we use potent sulfur with a dispenser and lava bucket. And basically, the observer picks up the redstone signal and the lava bucket is dispensed. And that's what allows us to use this as an elevator. And I really like how convenient this is. We just need to connect this to the actual villager breeder. So we're just gonna have to mine in this direction for a while. We finally connected this and I did not realize, I'm gonna go into free cam just to show you. We have a lot of villagers. Like, this is insane. This should fill up all the trading halls. So now I just need to connect the rail system and we can start getting these guys rolling. I finally connected everything and started trading with the villagers to try to get all of these pumpkin trades that I needed. And we're honestly on a time crunch right now. You can't see it in the top left. We're on day 974, and some of them were not being very cooperative with us. Anyway, after that, like I said, we just proceeded to stock up the trading hall. Yeah, dude, you're lucky to even be alive still. I guess a creeper was behind the bookshelves. I don't guess, that's actually what happened. There was a creeper here that blew up, and that sucks. I'm gonna have to go in here and light this up, fix this, and then move the rest of you guys up here. Yay, this is so fun. I can't wait. I finally have all the villagers up here. We only had a couple mishaps during the whole process, but we finally did it. And we have 19 days left to fill the other trading hall. So this is going to be fun. And we're also out of villagers because some of these guys wanted to trade melons and that did not end up good for them. They despawned, to say the least. But now we have these prisoners, or I mean tenants, and it's finally full, so we can fill up the other one now. Luckily, we also have some other villagers from spawn that we can go collect and bring over here. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, but we do have some pretty good trades already, so let's go ahead and do that. I can't believe I didn't catch this on camera, but our Fortune 3 villager that we got in episode 1 got blown up by a creeper. I put him in a boat and I was dragging him over here, and I left him here so I can go see if we had any other villagers in the area, and a creeper came around the corner and blew him up. And that's the hardest book to get. And we lost our Silk Touch. So we're going to have a lot of book grinding to go for. Our misfortune wasn't for nothing. We rolled a Silk Touch. So that's good. Okay, now a couple more books to go. After nearly 300 days, we've completed. For the most part, there's a couple things we're going to work on, but we can piece those together as they come. But after 300 days, we've completed our villager trading hall, our Roman Empire for our villagers. And I'm extremely happy with the way this came out. The librarian trading hall is right here. And we have 8 books here that I need. And then in the future, if we need more, we can go ahead and come upstairs and we can fit 8 more, 10 more. And if we need more than that, we can always extend down. It should not be an issue. I forgot I removed the water. There we go. But overall, I'm super happy with this. As far as filling these up in the future, if we go back down into our villager dungeon area here with the awesome elevator, I still have all the connections. So it's going to be very simple for us to move villagers around later. Now, the last plan that I have actually is to convert all of these guys. And for that to happen, I need to redo a few of the pods and then let a zombie in here at nighttime. I also need to go get a bunch of splash potions. So if you're curious in seeing that, feel free, like I said, swing by the stream. I think I'll be doing that on stream, as well as a few other things to get us over that 1,000 day hurdle. I also regret to inform you that I've lost my to-do list somewhere over here in this chest monster, which I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek for next episode. It basically is going to have to do with cleaning up this mess here and potentially making a storage system. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, that wraps up today's episode for building the Roman Empire in hardcore Minecraft. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for all the support lately. It's been unreal. Also, shout out again to all of my members. I really appreciate this. You guys allow me to do this every day. So thank you so much. And it's nighttime, of course. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.